Rudy. I'm a rising 1L here at Syracuse University College of Law. During my undergrad that I just finished, I did health and exercise science. And during one of those internships, I interned at the SU football team. That's where I met Reggie. He really took me under his wing. He really taught me everything that I learned in class and how me apply to real life people. And it was such a great opportunity, one of the hands down the best internship I had done. So luckily, I caught him during his vacation. He's gracious enough to come out and on Zoom, the first time we do on Zoom, on Deep Dive, and talk to us a little bit about it. So Reggie, can you just introduce yourself, where you're from, and
I'm an assistant athletic trainer with the football team at Syracuse University. I've been a licensed athletic trainer for 4 years now, and I really think it started back. That's a deep question, but started back in my high school days, and around a lot of places in the country. There's athletic trainers are like lacking at the secondary level. I love playing sports. I played football and basketball and ran track in high school. But when I got injured my senior year, I didn't have that support system as far as being able to help me get back. It was just coaches kind of telling me ice it up, and I didn't really have the knowledge of really what else I could be doing to get myself stronger and to try to finish the season. But um, I ran into Ray Ellis, who is a former Stony Brook alum as well, and he kind of started helping me out, showed me that he was doing athletic training, and kind of told me what it was about. So that stuck with me. And then when I got to college, I just went for it, and I put it down and applied for it, and kind of the rest is history, I guess.
awesome? Yeah, well, I'm definitely glad you went that route. So I know I was going through your Instagram a little bit to like, Google your name just to get some questions populated.
Yeah,
And I saw, and you spoke to me about this, how you're a D1 athlete and for
yeah,
football at Stony Brook. So my question is, I always thought, and I spoke to another intern, strength conditioning at SU about this, who is also a veteran. Athletes, specifically football athletes and military service members, have a lot in common when it comes to like the wear and tear of your body, the mental like stress you have to think about, and really just push your body, push your mind. So I'll talk about every service member takes off uniform at some point in their lives, whether it's after a couple years or after it's 20 years, The same thing with football. At some point you take off that uniform. How did you mentally transition from being a D1 athlete, the star of high school football, college football, and now I had to take school more serious. I had to really think about my career post football. And just walk me through that process.
yeah. I would say so my freshman year after I stopped playing football, and I started really just becoming more of a student. It was a shock, a little bit of a shock for me to kind of transition, because when you're a football player, everything is so scheduled, and it's almost like scheduled for you. You wake up, you have practice, you have lift, you have study hall, you have class, and all of that just takes up your day. So your day is really structured. And the biggest adjustment I had to make was time management, because I was like, oh, now I don't have like these other responsibilities. How do I manage my time and still accomplish like things I want to accomplish, in my life? So I saw that, my sophomore year of college, I was like really trying to like work through time management like I never had to before. I felt like I was 5, 6 years behind up my classmates and stuff, because they had to get used to that. So that was probably my biggest adjustment.
I know your brother was in the army, correct? Or I don't know if he still is or not, but
My cousin, yes, he
oh,
he
I'm
he
sorry.
was. He's no longer in, like, he was enlisted previously, yeah. So
Do you guys ever talk about like any similarities or time management or just working
yeah.
out? I don't know.
For sure. I mean, his PT was, from his boot camp on, I really saw like he just changed from a discipline perspective. I think, I always mess with him like, dude, it changed his whole life. Being in the army for him increased his level of discipline, increased his like attention to detail. And so we've shared ideas, and we talk a lot about just our lifestyles and like how that kind of lines up. And I think football and being on the team definitely instilled those things in me too. So
Yeah.
yeah, we talk about that a lot.
Yeah, and another similarity, attention to detail, because I would see with the athlete and you'll be watching their scapulas and then seeing which one uses the labor more than the other. I'm like, oh man, you're really it's like
Yeah,
micro. It's like you don't even see that much, but you see enough to like someone trained like you would be like, yeah, I know more or less what's the issue.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, especially so you're talking like when we talk assessment and stuff like that, we're like looking at really minute movements between them, like different arms and trying to see, hey, is this person like really hurt, or there's like dysfunctions kind of popping up, or how do we kind of go about treating that? So there's a lot of detail involved in athletic training, and but that's why I love it.
Yeah. So let's go, back in time a little bit. You're getting out of college and you're finishing your master's with concentration in athletic training. What did you do that ended you at a D1 school like Syracuse University? Because I saw at one point in time you were at a high school. Like, is that where you wanted to be? Or is that, I need a experience. I just want to take anything. Just
Okay.
walk me through that
Yeah.
step.
Yeah, so I think it started really in like my graduate assistantship at IU. So I went to Indiana University. I at the time, like the positions for GA wasn't with the football team at IU, so I had to went out to local high schools and I was their athletic trainer there at a local high school and all by myself in the middle of Indiana, kind of just working, without the resources I have at a Division I college for sure. So I think just to stay around the sport. I started going into like local high schools and working high school football. And then while I was at IU, the school itself, I worked baseball primarily. So I got a little bit of college experience and then I got some high school experience too.
Do you think your time in the high school experience helped you now? Because now you have a ton of resources. Back then, you had a little bit. So you have to think more. I'm assuming you have to think more on your feet.
Yeah, I definitely like it's not even just like working without the like the extra modalities and stuff like all the fancy tools and stuff. It's really just seeing different sports. One day I'm working with a basketball player, and then the next day I'm working with somebody from swim and dive, and so I'm just seeing different body like compositions, different sports, different genders, and everything in between. So. I feel like that was giving me a lot of like versatile experience that I carry today for sure.
What advice do you have for somebody leaving college now and like, their goal is to be like, a D1, working with D1 athletes, but that's not maybe in the realm immediately after school, and they
Right.
have to take a lower, let's say lower level career starting out.
Right.
Should they be disappointed at that, or they should just take it and like make the most of it? Like, what's your advice?
Yeah, I honestly love that you put air quotes around lower because it really isn't, it's all about how you look at it, right? People say, oh, professional ranks is the highest, and it is as far as the level of athletes, but how much are you doing? What are your responsibilities at that level? Might be really small compared to if you're at a high school and you have a lot more responsibilities because it's not as high up, right? You can get a lot of experience. So anybody kind of in the field or in the place where they're just getting out of school and they're looking for their direction, I say just try, to diversify yourself in what you do. Be a lot like dabble in this, dabble in that, and honestly, uh, build up whatever you want, like what those experiences, and hope that hey, okay, now I know what I like and what I don't like from different places, and go with it.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. Just do everything possible. You eventually figure out what you love, what you don't love, and what you're
Yeah,
really good at.
right,
And
right. I agree,
where you're
man.
happy. Like I feel like I saw that video that Syracuse University posted about you, and you
Hmm.
just see like how happy you are in the video. And
Yeah,
then
I
there's some
appreciate it.
person I was with you, like you loved it, and it was so fun.
Yeah,
It's definitely not for everybody. Your hours were quite intense, and
yep,
especially during training camp, I couldn't
yeah.
believe it. Like I was like, wow, I was very shocked. But that was a very awesome time.
That's
Uh,
true. You gotta love it. Because the the hours are no joke, man. The no hours are no joke.
So earlier you talked about that you knew somebody in the field beforehand. How important are connections in your opinion?
Oh, they're super important. I mean, I go from place like I feel like it's all about like they say that saying like it's not about what you like, it's about who you know, not about what you know kind of thing. It's like who
Yeah.
who who really can get you to that next level is important. And like having that connections or goes a long way. I kind of take an approach like just the day to day. Connect with those around you though. We had a short time together when we were working, with football last summer. It's like connect with the people that you're around, like actually spend the time to get to know them, and you might be surprised how much they are close to you, or be able to help you someday maybe, so that's big on me as far as like core values go. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love to talk to people, just get to know people and what they do for a living and how they approach things too. But when you're in the school, I know you're not in school mode anymore, but like when you were in the school mode, were you like it's a little harder when you're taking tests and finals and just studying. Did you ever make a time or go out of your way to like go to events and meet other athletic trainers or any events like that?
Yeah, I would say after football, you have your athletics like umbrella people you hang out with. I think once I left the football like team, and I was able to just venture out a little bit more and have more time to do so. I made more friends, committed to like getting to more clubs. I loved intramural sports. Got a little
Yeah.
dodgeball. No, I'm sorry, it's kickball championship in intramural
Oh,
sports.
nice. Yeah.
No, no big deal, no big deal. But like those little things, I think allowed me to just meet more people and like create more, friendships, I guess. So yeah, I would say just getting out there and doing that was nice a little bit.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've seen you out in town one time at the Syracuse, Texas Syracuse. Super fun
Yeah,
time. A lot of people in the world right now are working very hard to make a living, and you guys are no exception. You guys work a ton, and you guys are happy while you're doing it. But I also know how important like a work-life balance is. How do you manage that? What's your approach?
yeah. I mean, I would say for me, like my faith allows me to actually have a really good outlet from work. So that kind of is my reset from as far as the day to day goes. I don't know how else I would be able to, because literally our days are busy, they're jam packed. We have a lot that goes into what we do every day. So I would say my number one thing is my faith that allows me to when I'm out of work really disconnect from that, and so I could be myself and recharge and do it again the next day, really, So
Yeah, because I feel like in careers like yours, you have to just embrace. We had like a term, embrace the suck. And while like
Mhm.
your job doesn't suck by any means, like having like long hours there, like over 10 hours a day for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a wear and tear in your body and your mind, but you just have to embrace it and like show up every day. You always had a smile on your face. You're willing to help everybody, and that really stuck out to me because I feel that's not very common. I see us even on campus, and I see like some staff members looking a little sad. I like, "Oh, why you say you chose this job? You chose this career, like."
Right,
And
right.
it was off on people. Like you were happy. I was like, I'm happy, even though I had to wake up like at 5:30 in the morning during those 2 months.
Yeah.
Like took a little adjusting, but I got there. You were happy with your free breakfast. I was like, oh, this is sweet.
Yeah, man, those raps, bro. We had to
Yeah,
get them. We
that
made
was
sure to
yeah,
make our run over there.
yeah.
That's funny for
That's
sure.
so like that's awesome that you're in faith. I noticed that too. Along with the football players that were like really believed in had faith. They were lacrosse and stuff. And it really stood out to me, like because I believe in God. I'm Catholic and I go to church and everything. So that's one thing that really stood out when I was there. How much football players were just in that facility had faith and really was proud of it because I feel like that's not that common in today's society where people are like willing to express what they believe in or not. What would you say one of the highlights of your career?
Well, that's of my career right now. Ooh, that's a good question. Getting that first big boy job, I would say here, and being able to be a full-time employee at a university, I would say that was like a high point for me, and just being able to have that, people trust me and have an opportunity to do that, because I know I don't take it for granted. That would be a high point, and then just the bowl games, just being able to go to New York City. Really, the Pinstripe Bowl game was
Yeah.
a fun experience. Being able to go to the city, and the game didn't result in what we wanted to, but it was a cool time being there.
Yeah, because I heard from some of the other interns that they like took in a bus, they like, stopped the street for you guys. It was like full service.
Yeah.
That's once a lifetime opportunity. I feel like that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, our hotel was like walking distance from Times Square. It was
Oh
unreal.
wow.
Like you never, yeah, I personally would never be able to afford, staying in a hotel like that. So, Once I even got there in New York City and stayed there for, the amount of time we did, I was like, yeah, this is a blessing. This is great. So,
Yeah,
um, hopefully I was hoping we would have won, but hey,
yeah.
we'll get them
Next
next
year,
year.
hopefully. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. We're later this year.
Right.
So I know when I was there, you're doing additional schooling,
Hmm.
and you really took advantage of what Syracuse offers a remitted tuition.
Right.
And want to talk a little bit about that? Like, how was
Yeah.
it going to school while working? Like, how many hours? Like, how was that?
Yeah. So I got my certification in sports analytics through Folk University, and it was all asynchronous. So our professors would just post it online, and we had a week to complete assignment, and then basically myself and I actually had Jason Leslie, who's works in academics. We both were in the program together, so we really were able to just help each other out and study and watch the lectures and get the assignments done. But it took a lot of late nights. I stayed there even later because I had my monitors and everything. So I just ended up staying a little bit later, getting in a little earlier. But now we're starting a sports analytics program within football. We're in the first phase of it, so we're kind of just unrolling. I got a lot of help. I have about 10 students from Folk that help me out every day, and they're doing a lot of the work to try to just use our GPS monitors and get some cool data out of it.
And you're spearheading that program?
Oh, yeah, right now we're in year one of it. We just started our summer data collection, and so we're starting to work through that. But yeah, we're off and rolling. We have GPS monitors that we have on every guy through Stat Sports, and so we collect that data and we're working on just interpreting it right now.
That's amazing. That's an amazing opportunity. Like one, I'm sure that's amazing on you on your resume, creating
Yeah,
going to school at the same university you work at and implementing a program in the field you work at, and then
yeah.
then also giving a handful of students like real life experience.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's been great, and they've been crushing it. I just like they just email me about stuff, and I'm like, man, you guys are doing like they're taking it and running with this thing. So, it's been really good. Folk University has their students really locked in, so I like it.
Yeah, that's where I graduated from undergrad, and that's why I really loved it there.
Yeah,
Wow, that's an amazing opportunity, and man, I mean, Syracuse has a ton of phenomenal staff, and you're definitely up there with them. Like
yeah.
from just carrying having a care factor about the interns under you, creating programs like this. That's truly amazing. And I want to ask you something to ask all my guests. What is your favorite quote and why?
Oh, favorite quote. So my one something that kind of stuck with me and I put it in like my signature and just kind of carry it day to day is a better tomorrow starts today. I don't know where I got it from. I don't want to take credit for it myself, but it's something that just kind of stuck with me. So it just kind of embodies like get done what you need to get done today, so that tomorrow might be easier for you to even get more done for the following day, you know. So it kind
Yeah,
of is just like a stay in the moment quote for me.
that is amazing. Yeah, just don't be lazy. Get what you have to
Yeah,
do. For
yeah, yeah.
tomorrow, just get more done. Like clean
Yeah,
the pumpers or do whatever you have to do.
well, exactly.
Yeah,
If whatever your day to day is, you can make tomorrow better by just starting it today and starting your task today. So, yeah, it's my quote.
it's great. I didn't add this to the question, so I hope you don't mind. But as Reggie, what are your long term goals in this field?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of evolving a little bit now. Now that I'm kind of getting into the sports analytics side of things too. I'm always going to be an athlete trainer by trait. But I think the long-term goal for me is to be a head athletic trainer and to have the opportunity to just run a show, run a program, a sports med program from the football side of things, and try to establish that. That's like as far as long term goes, but even longer term goals. When I'm out of I call these days the trenches because we're grinding. When I'm out of the trenches, when I'm out of like the day-to-day grind, I do want to get back and be more in the professor realm and teach athletic training classes somewhere at hopefully a
Wow.
accredited institution.
Do you think since you are having a program of like data analytics there, you'll ever like change or if it's like more research based by hands on?
Yeah, I mean,
I and that's something. Are
I'm
you
not
nervous
opposed to
about
it.
that? Like, is like, oh man, like my career might be
Yeah.
leading me one way when I don't want to.
Right. That's an ongoing thing for me. Like I actually do really enjoy research and then so like this is like allowing me to do research but clinically, like clinical research compared to like just being in a lab. So I don't know if I would ever want to be too far away from the field, but it might happen someday. It might happen someday that I kind of take more of a role in the research side of things.
Just a few more questions for you since I have you here.
Yeah.
Um, so setbacks are part of any rehab. That just happens. It's common. What type of mindset do you think any person struggling through recovery, through rehab, should have in order to overcome that obstacle?
I think sometimes taking a step back and looking at the big picture, and it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard for me to do. But like I always remind my athletes, like, look, you're having a bad day, maybe you're having a bad week, but you're looking at a 9 month process. Sometimes 6 to 9, even longer month process. So take a step back and realize where you've come from, and then where you can get to if you just allow yourself to keep working, keep doing the right thing. So I think sometimes doing that helps them.
That's really good. Take a step back and just see how far you've come. And even though you still have ways to go, you've already come quite a bit.
Right.
That's really good. Yeah, because I currently go to physical therapy that had surgery a couple months ago, and
Mm.
it didn't go so well. Like
Yeah.
my incision opened up a little bit, and my skin adhered to my bone. So that's a setback. I was like not expecting that at all, and it's
Right.
just take a little step back. Like at least I could jog and work out now again. So I guess they're always positives, and so take a step back, a breather. I mean, I imagine those will really work. Well, I want to
For
thank you
sure,
so
man.
much, for coming. If you have any last words of wisdom you have to pass on to anybody in the trenches right now,
In
thinking
the
like, man,
trenches.
like I'm working hard. Is this worth it?
Man, I would just say double down on your process, whatever that process might be. Just if you're at a road where you like give up or go forward, I would say if you really believe in what you've been doing, double down on it and see where it takes you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, again, Reggie, thank you so much for coming and well on Zoom and
Yeah.
thinking with me and taking time out of your vacation. I know the season's coming up soon. I'm sure you're gonna be super busy, hectic. Training camp just around the corner, I imagine. And
Yeah,
rooting for you, not only the players, but rooting for medical staff too to be in their A
for
game
sure.
and really help. The support of the football team is crucial. And I feel a lot of people don't always think of that. Just from
Right.
hydration, I can't believe it.
Everybody has a role. It's a huge organization, a lot of support staff, from equipment all the way through to the athletic trainers and new dietitians. And it takes a team. It really does take a team. And I appreciate being on here, man. And I'm only just rooting for you. Anytime we get an opportunity to talk, man, I'm only just rooting for you and love to see where you're going with life, bro.
I really appreciate it, man. Well, I know you're on vacation, so I don't want to take too much of your time. Go out
Got you.
there and to have fun and enjoy your family and
We'll do.
whatever else you do there.
Yeah, man. We'll do. We'll do. Appreciate you.
Thank you, and best of luck in the season.
All right, you too.